There you go. Woo! All right, we're live again. There you go. So we're just waiting for Arnold and all that stuff. Let's
Yeah.
see if he jumps in. I want to try this stuff out, right? So that's
Yep.
the thing. What you were saying? Did I do my
No, your whatnot yesterday.
yeah. Every Tuesday I do a whatnot show, and I
Mm-hmm.
run a bunch of like 50% off,
Right.
like only four sketch card that I do. And every time I jump into the show, everybody kind of makes all the purchases and stuff like that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I end up doing it till drawing the cards till midnight,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I pack everything, and by the time I hit the bed is about 2 a.m. in the morning. Then I sleep till 5:30, 6 o'clock. I wake up,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
drive the wife to the GO station, get the little girl up for 6:30, 6:40 around there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Feed her, get her ready because her school starts at 8, right?
Right. Right.
Oh, there you go. There. Oh, Arnold's here.
Okay.
Yeah, Arnold.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
You
Yeah.
guys?
you.
That, we can hear you. Doc.
Awesome. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Arnold.
You,
Hey,
you guys are
everybody
laughing.
who's
You guys are laughing.
yeah, we're live, by the way, so we're on YouTube. So everybody who's jumping in, just to introduce everybody in the group, we have Soldier down at the bottom there, Arnold, a longtime friend, and in the corner there's Ollie.
Hey.
You can find all our social media in the uh, show descriptions and stuff. So all we're doing tonight is we're just gonna
Hmm.
hang and draw and talk what's going on, right? So yeah, Arnold, how you been, buddy?
What do you mean? How have I been? How have you
Yeah,
been? um. Okay. Well, since you asked the question first, I've been doing all right. You know, just juggling full time,
work.
work.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to what do you call this? Sorry. First of all, can you guys? Yeah, you guys can see my screen.
yeah. We can
Just
hear
want
you.
to make sure. Yeah. So just juggling full time work and trying to do artwork. Cause like as you guys know, I'm very active in the con scene.
Yeah,
It kind of started early for me this year. Beginning in January, where I did like their Ottawa holiday show.
I'm gonna start
So,
asking you questions about those shows too.
sorry.
I'm gonna start asking you about those
Uh-huh.
questions. But go ahead, finish first.
Yeah. No, hey, by all means, ask away. But yeah. So, just you know, from there, it's like I thought like my next big show won't start until April, but yeah, the Ottawa one came up suddenly for me because I was on a wait list, and and I got the email saying, hey, you know what, space opened up. So I said, okay, you know what, let's do it. So I felt like, yeah, it's like my con season started early, and then from there it's like I'm doing the pop culture show, which by the way, the organizer there, he misses you. He wish you
Yeah,
were
I know.
there.
I talk to him all the time.
There you go.
David,
There you
yes,
go.
I know David. I miss everybody that goes to those shows, right? So
Right.
that's my thing, right? So hey, so how was you did Ottawa? How did
Yes.
how did that go? I saw your setup. That looked fantastic. Looks like you've got everything all worked out now.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, every show for me is funny because like every show for me is the setup is sometimes almost like different, like because like it depends where they place me and how many, or at least like, yeah, pretty much the placements, like where they place me, whether they give me a corner spot or they just give me a regular table. But anyway, the show itself was amazing. I highly recommend it. Like I was pretty lucky that they accepted me. Only because yeah, it was very successful. It was a good long drive, obviously. lonely
Yeah.
long drive because unfortunately I didn't have anybody like like Mike Simbahan or even Ollie or
Yeah.
the old spent crew.
Yeah.
So I
The
drove there
solo
by
flight.
myself.
You're
Sorry.
going solo. You're going solo on that trip.
Yeah, I've been going solo. Um, yeah. So, but you know what? It's all good. But again, going back to the show, I love it. Um, I think it was kind of brilliant for them to kind of have the show like coinciding with other I guess show happening. Like I forgot what the other there was another trade show happening that weekend in that same building. So what happened was they have free admission. So
Yeah.
Ottawa, holiday show had free admission. So for the other two shows that were there, so there were three at least. Like I think trade events happening in that building. So the
Hmm.
other two shows, like the people that were attending that show, I believe that some of them just wandered over to the con, and it made the attendance like full and busy.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
quite honestly, like
That helps.
by what it sorry.
That helps.
Yeah, it helps a lot because what do you call it? So with the foot traffic being in there,
Yeah.
obviously everybody, whether artists or vendors or whatnot,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, they all benefited from it because like
Yeah, yeah,
I get some people coming in going like, "Whoa, we just saw this from like
yeah.
from the other side of the building and we thought we'd wander in." And lo and behold, here they are, and they're checking out all the stuff that's happening in the I guess in the show, and
Hmm.
then again it comes back to the rest of us like the artists where like they're there like they're buying stuff like
Hmm.
crazy.
Hmm.
So it was
Nice.
just like yeah, it definitely worked out for everybody. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
they would do that. I'm hoping they would do that. Um, sorry, I'm just
That's
like
cool.
sometimes I can't talk and draw at the same time, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's one of those things you got to get used to. Like when I'm doing on my whatnot show, I got to remember
yeah.
that there's people watching, and I
Right,
forget, and you go completely quiet. You know what I mean? And you're
right.
concentrating, and
Well, again, I don't really do this often, and I've seen you do it. And
yeah,
Ollie, I'm pretty sure you're used to like people watching you at the show, because man alive, when I'm tabling close to Ollie, I see him like crazy busy with like people asking for commissions and all this, and he just like whipping out
But
all these like amazing
but
drawings
but
in
here it's
front of
still
people.
different, Cap. Here,
Mm,
doing this kind of show is still different. So I'm still getting used to.
yeah, yeah.
Not.
yeah.
I put your Instagram and all that stuff in the show note. Anybody who's oh hey Phil, um uh the what do you call it? I put the Instagram of all the artists in the show note there, guys. If you guys want to give them a follow, if you see something you like, or if you want a commission, please just DM them directly, either Ollie or Arnold. There, that is Arnold is the sketch soldier. Yeah,
That's
that's you'll see some of that stuff, right? So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's cool. I mean, I saw you doing a bunch of pop culture
mm,
stuff, right?
yeah.
And did you do? I was gonna ask you. There was I forgot there was one show. I don't know if oh, I was gonna ask you about VonCon. How was that last year?
VonCon.
Did you do
Oh no.
okay?
Oh, Von. Okay, so are you talking about like yeah? Obviously, you're talking about past VonCon because it
Yeah.
hasn't happened yet. The VonCon this year is going to be happening on August 10th, I believe, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. But no, I did really well. At the VonCon last year, like I love it. Like I keep going back to it. Like yeah, you'll see the pattern. Like I haven't updated my website yet, so if anybody's gonna go check out my website, I have not like updated my calendar, but it's pretty much going to be the same
conventions.
cons. I'll be
Yeah.
attending the same con as I did last year because quite honestly, like those cons that I've been attending, they've been all like amazing. Um,
Hmm.
like attendance wise, sales wise, and all this thing, right? So um, uh, I think I told somebody this. It's like I feel like last year, and I'm hoping I'm knocking on, I'm hitting metal here, but if it was wood, I'd be knocking. I'm hoping wasn't luck, because like I don't think I did any shows last year that I go, oh my gosh, like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't
Let
worth it or
down.
anything like that. But every one of them was just like amazing, and the
Yeah,
organizer, oh
that's good.
gosh, like.
Good to pick up.
I
Yeah.
wanna I wanna give him a shout out. Like, well, I'd like to give him an individual shout out, but I'm just gonna shout out all like yeah the conventions like Montreal Comic Con, Niagara Falls,
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton, VonCon, um, what else? Bruce County,
Nicotine.
which was one of the new one. Oh man, there's so many, and then the pop culture shows. Yeah, I love doing the pop culture shows, because
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
1 day shows, but you know, uh, like
I like
they're
them
they're
because of
wow.
the hours. It's condensed. It's not a long day. You know what I mean? That's
Yes.
what I like about them. And
Well,
they're yeah, go ahead.
no, no, no. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean like like I hear people were showing up at these things and going, "Well, I didn't make my table back." And I said, "Well, I noticed you just didn't do anything. You kind of sat there all that time."
Yeah.
Right? It's like he brought people into the door, but it's your thing that you have to sell, and maybe you have to look at how you do things to, you know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
right. Like
Well, yeah. I
no,
think
I
that
mean
applies to. Sorry, keep
to
interrupting
anything.
you.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That applies to
No, but no, that applies to all the shows. Like you really got to bring your A game. You
yeah.
can't just kind of like say, okay, I'm gonna draw something for the sake of just like filling out my table or my display and all this thing, right? You really got to know, or sometimes um, well, it's based on experience. You just kind of like have to feel out the crowd type thing, right? Um, I find I don't know about you guys, so maybe I find that even some subject matter or like characters that I don't know, but I know it's popular out there. But I find that a lot of the people I talk to, they go, "Oh no, well I don't like drawing that, or I'm not really into that and all this."
Mm-hmm.
But and then yeah, they want to obviously yeah they want to do what makes them happy, which is
Yeah.
fine. But if you really really want to have a successful show financially type thing, like
Mm-hmm.
get your table back, get
Yeah.
your accommodation, or whatever you spend, your expenses, right? I really believe that like you really gotta like delve into what other people want as
Yeah.
well too,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I don't know how you guys feel about that, but like
No, I
Yeah.
do the
That's
same,
yeah.
right? It's the same for the stuff, right? I mean, you go out
yeah.
there like my biggest selling stuff, believe it or not, and I sell it for
Hmm,
cheap, is the Pikachu stuff, right? That
yeah.
because I know the target audience is kids, right?
Yes.
And they
Mm-hmm.
gravitate towards it, right? I have no problem with that because what I consider that is kind of like Walmart do their lost lead kind of thing.
Yeah.
They put something on a discount and everybody kind of jumps in and
Yeah.
like it's ridiculous cheap, but as they walk in, they see other stuff in the store, they pick that up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right. So yeah. So there you go. And it's funny because like I'll have to say I don't know. Do you guys are you guys gamers? Like I'd
Yeah,
like to think that I should have known
you're
that,
talking
but
about
like
Marvel Rival right now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm working on what's got the Land Shark there, Jeff the Land Shark,
there you
some
go.
Yeah.
print.
Well, well, it's funny you brought that up. It's funny you brought that up because I'm not a gamer at all.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But I did a piece. I don't know if you guys saw it on my Instagram, but like I did a piece like the shark act Jeff the shark himself, right?
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I don't know who Jeff the shark is, but I go okay, he looks like he's pretty interesting. I have no thing with him, but like at the same time go okay, let me try him. But Montreal, like I don't want to toot my own horn, but like yeah, I sold quite a few like copies of my Jeff the shark. And
Oh,
the,
cool.
the only thing is like people trying to talk to me about him. It's like, oh, when you use them in the game and blah 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 this and that. I'm going like, yeah, I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah. I don't play that.
I don't play that, but like I appreciate you guys liking my art.
Right.
Yeah,
Right? So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's
yeah.
cool.
What about you, Ollie? Like, have you drawn Jeff the Shark yet?
no, not yet. But again, I got a lot of like requests from the Marvel Rivals character, especially Psylocke,
Yeah.
the Psylocke person.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm doing it in sketch cards.
Nice.
Yeah,
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 you guys have been busy with sketch cards.
yeah, yeah.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah, I've
It's
been doing a lot of like
it's not that we're busy, Arnold. It's the income. That's what that is. Like I rather draw something else, but
right.
if 40 cards is coming in at $15 a pop, that's $600 American right there. You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah,
crazy still.
Right?
Yeah.
So I gotta punch
Crazy.
that out as soon as I can,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
So that's what that is, right?
But
Anytime I get a commission, that's the first
mm,
thing I jump on is that kind of stuff, right?
So, but
well,
Locke,
mm,
you got the new what's that? The new one that you showed me, SpongeBob, right?
Yeah, the SpongeBob. Yeah,
You're doing that,
oh
right?
nice. Yeah, congrats on that one.
yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah, I got a whole box full. They asked how many I
Mm,
wanted because they were hoping I get a lot, and I only said
Hmm.
just give me 40, right?
Okay, okay.
But if you look at the card, they are pretty darn thick. Look how
Oh,
no
thick
okay.
way.
these cards are. They are
Oh,
thick,
sure. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So they got like the little symbol kind of stuff to it, but I won't show the back yet, right?
just
But
like the
Oh wow.
yeah, they're really really thick,
oh, nice. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much almost as thick as my custom sketch cards,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
How was the finish on them? Like,
They're the same. They're just the paper type. They're just regular paper. They're not as they're
right.
not as smooth board as um, they're not like vellum smooth like the stuff I
Mm-hmm.
use, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see this is just regular. Um, I think it's just regular cardstock that they use. See
Mm-hmm.
how comparable? They're not completely white,
Right.
right? It's an off, right? It's got a texture paper to it, so right. They're still doing these little things where I mean, ideally they should be consulting us artists on the cards,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
they don't do that, right?
Yeah.
They go
They don't.
they go with the cheapest possible, and that was my only thing, right?
Do you think that was the same way, like when they were first started coming out with those like blank sketch
Yeah,
cover, like a
yeah.
comic book blank,
It was
like they did
horrible.
not like consider the yeah, the finish or the quality
Yeah,
of the cover for us to draw on. And so when we try to ink or do
Yeah,
any
yeah.
mixed media on it, it just
Right.
gets eaten up.
yeah. Boom Studio has that tendency. I think Dynamite too. The paper is inconsistent all the time,
Oh yeah.
depending on what it is. And I'm a guy who uses acrylic, like acrylic paint.
Right.
Yeah.
Once I get a little bit of water on it, that whole thing just buckles, and the paper is almost like tissue paper. You know what I mean? You get
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
right.
crazy. Um, any other sets that you get to work, or what's the current set you get to working on right now? Like,
I just finished the Star Wars.
mm,
Star Wars is already submitted, so they
Mm-hmm.
asked me I want it. I said 40 to start, and so I did 40. And I was worried that because it was my first Star Wars set,
Yeah.
there was a lot of rules and regulation for the Star Wars set.
oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, there was things like no Leia slave outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Right.
Oh,
No,
really?
yeah, yeah. There's
So
a lot of rules.
they limit.
Yeah, no Darth Vader mask being hacked into pieces. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
No any no Captain um, Plasma or Plasma you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like anything damaged that you can see their face, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So even Kylo Ren, you know what I mean? Like when his mask get cut off or that kind
Yeah.
of
Hmm.
stuff. There was that kind of stuff. You can do battle damage, right? Hey, Christina, thanks for jumping in. We're trying out Restream this week. Um, so there was a lot of little things that like the Lucasfilm people says you can't do the any Star Wars Christmas special stuff, right? Like CP3PO has to be like the gold one. It can't be you remember when he had the silver arm or the silver leg or whatever the stuff
Hmm.
is. It's
Yeah.
got to be the full. There's all these little rules that even though it's only like a page, maybe a page and a half, they were
Right.
rules that were, I think, they were trying to keep everything within canon. Then
Mm.
the other thing was I ran into was everything I drew has to be able to be found on StarWars.com,
Okay.
right? I
Mm.
can't just like Google, like
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
you know what I mean?
Reference. Yeah,
Yeah, the reference has to be able to be found at
yeah.
StarWars.com,
Right.
right? And that's where those kind of things you have to be careful of. There is, but the rest is I found interesting was I couldn't stylize the like if you're gonna draw Samuel L. Jackson, he's got to look like Samuel L. Jackson,
Yeah, that's the thing. That's another thing. Yeah.
right?
Oh man, yeah. Hey, I give you guys props for that because I can't. Ugh, I
Right?
can't do portraits. I always that sorry. Just a little bit of leeway. It's like that's the thing that when I'm tabling with Ollie and Mike at the show,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell these guys, I go like, guys, like, you know what? Anytime I get if somebody asks for a commission for a thing, I'm when it comes to portraits, I'm shifting them your way because like I can't like
Hmm.
I mean like I feel like I can, but I know it's gonna take me a long time,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna worth my time and effort at the
Yeah. It's
con
hard.
to do it.
It's hard if you're going to do that in car.
Yeah,
Even like pricing it is hard, right? Like pricing that kind of like request is hard because first it will took you time. Secondly, is like what if it doesn't look like the real person or
yeah.
right. How do you
you
deal with that? Like lock, like how do you
I
feel
don't
about
know.
like
I
doing
mean,
the
I did Samuel L. Jackson. It looks like Samuel L. Jackson. It's just,
great?
you know what I mean? Like I drew it. I drew enough lines to look like him, but at the same time,
Yeah,
you're like, Samuel L. Jackson is pretty dark, so I didn't want to go dark, right?
right.
Mhm.
So I didn't want to use a lot of dark browns, a lot of
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
paper just soaks that stuff up. The paper is so thin, so I just went as light as possible. Then what I did was I did the background where I made it more like he's standing in front of the, on the Death Star. You get the little panels of lights coming through the little slits, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
I
Mhm.
did all that. I did every one of them, like with that little slit of light in the background, where it's just like, right?
right.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
originally I was like, okay, am I going to draw the Millennium Falcon? Sorry, I can't draw the Millennium Falcon because they want like accurate Millennium
Oh,
Falcon
right.
detail, and
Oh
I'm
no.
not. I'm not sitting there drawing little diagrams.
Right.
That's Ollie's. That's Ollie's venue
That's
there. Like
Ollie's
Ollie's
territory,
Chilton.
right?
Oh
Uh,
my gosh, it's like Ollie kicks ass when it comes to like putting details in one little like card piece. I don't know how he does it, man. Like
no,
I
but
no,
the
I've
thing
seen
Yeah,
him.
with that,
Hmm,
the thing with that's like yeah, you have to like even like the color. So if it's fully colored, it's just like hard, extra, especially if you're only getting like really that much rate or um like they only pay you like $15 or something.
Yeah, yeah,
and
Oh yeah.
you will take your time just to finish that one car one.
yeah. If I was doing a like a commission card,
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
that's because I'm charging 60 to like if I was doing it on a like an upper deck AP card,
yeah.
right? I charge like 140 to 200 depending on the
Mhm,
card,
mhm.
right? But I'm
Yeah,
giving them backgrounds. I'm giving them
yeah. Right.
all the other stuff, right? So I can take a
Right.
little bit longer on that,
Yeah,
right?
Right.
yeah.
But if you're doing $15 a piece and you got 40 cards, right?
Right. Yeah.
So so what I'm doing with the SpongeBob series is it's under the sea. It's going to be a lot of blue, a lot of pink, a lot
Mhm,
of
mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, another thing with the tops is they don't have artist proof anymore, right? They don't give you
Yeah, they don't give you APs.
APs.
That's the
So
term, artist proofs, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, of audience member out there, if you're not familiar with trading cards, usually Upper Deck and Tops and most of these companies, what they do is they like, for example, every 10 cards that you draw,
Hmm.
they give you one card to keep for yourself, and it's usually stamped with the word AP on it. That is artist proof. That is basically they let you sell that as a commission piece for collectors, and that's where most of the artists makes their money back, right?
Yeah.
So that's how the industry works. Yeah, I had to learn all sorts of. I went on Reddit and I was looking up terms.
Well,
I was
it's funny
talking.
because, like, yeah, when I go to Ollie's place and he's showing me all these, like, the raw artwork that he's done for the card, and then he'd be mentioning artist proof. Like, yeah, I'm glad you educated the audience regarding that
Yeah,
stuff. To me, it's like going, what are you talking about? Like, what's artist proof and all this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, but I hear you guys. Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't, obviously I don't do cards, so, but yeah, I hear that that's where you guys definitely get your money's worth. You know,
yep,
like
yep.
they pay well for the card itself, but then for the artist proof, that's really where you get your
Yeah.
yeah,
basic.
that's where, right?
Yeah.
Like here's an example. Like
Mm,
Dynamite stills what do you call it? Like Dynamite won't go beyond $5 a card, right?
mm,
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason why some artists take that is just for the clout, right?
Hmm, hmm.
I take it based on if I like a project,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, so, for example, when they reached out to me, they asked me if I wanted to do Transformer. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
love to
yeah.
do the Transformer, right?
Right.
I
mm.
signed up, filled up my W-9, all this other stuff,
Yeah,
sent over, photo ID, blood samples, whatever the stuff was. And then they said, okay, we're going to send you the stack of 40 cards, and here's the specification for the characters and what you can draw. It was a 1984 toy line of the
Right.
Transformers. So
Mm.
you had to draw the toy line. I thought I got the animation, remember? No, the toy
Right.
line looks
yeah.
completely different from the animation series of the
Right.
80s.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
So, but I waited for the cards and they never showed up, right?
Oh, same with me. I
Yeah,
also signed up on that, but I never got my cards.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. That's too
I
bad.
know. I like. Actually, I signed up on that because I like to draw Transformers.
Yep. There's another one Ollie
So
excels in.
yeah.
Um, you know what? Okay, so going back to what you were mentioning, Locke, as far as like them giving you choices, as far as like, or at least like limiting even what to draw on the cards. Like, it's just too bad that they do that, because I feel like, I don't know, you know, if people can get creative, they can have unique pieces.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Depending
I
on
don't
the
know how you
set.
feel about that as well too.
Well, depending on the set, right? There's certain sets. It has to
Hmm.
do with their IP, right? So Lucasfilm and Disney, and the Star
True.
Wars,
That's true.
it's
Mhm.
very tight. It like literally you can't do
Yeah.
this, right? But you can, like you
Yeah.
can't veer away from what was seen, right? So the one thing I can't do is bring in video game characters,
Hmm.
right? So
Okay.
unless they're already appeared on like you know Star Wars Rebel or any animation series and stuff, right?
Right.
One of those things I thought, remember the Star Wars Vision? Remember that one where they had like artists do like manga style and anime style of Star Wars. I think it was Disney Vision or Star Wars
I
Vision
think.
or something
Yeah. I
like
think. Yeah.
that, right? I would love to have drawn that, but that was on a no list.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh no.
oh.
Right?
Mhm.
I would love to have drawn like Darth Vader as a samurai.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Right.
that would be fun.
Well, that's
Right?
it. That's it. Right. That's what I'm. That's
Right?
what I'm saying. It's like, get creative. But like, no, I guess I can understand where they're coming from. But I think you would have killed that samurai thing.
Oh,
So
it was that was one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, I was looking forward to. Then nope,
Hmm.
nope, nope.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything has to do with the film itself, the nine film or 12 film,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So everything has to fall within those film.
right.
Then the animated series, right? But the rule was there were certain rules too about the animated series. I couldn't
Hmm.
do it like I couldn't do like for example, if I took A New Hope, right?
Okay.
And draw them like the Star Wars Rebel series, like the animated series,
Hmm.
right? So I
Right.
couldn't do that. You know what I mean? They have to be separate, right? Like if you're going to draw the animated series, everything has to be the animated series. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was an interesting it was an interesting thing because when you're drawing for Marvel,
Hmm.
it's basically what they do is they send you a list of characters you can't draw.
Yeah.
That's it. That
Yeah.
is it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And things like like you can't have guns that look like real guns.
Right. Right.
You can't, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can't
Yeah.
have the gun pointing at the person. You can't have them eating food or blood, right?
Mhm.
I get they're being mindful of potentially selling this to kids in general.
Most of the time, yeah. But
Yeah.
how many kids can go in and buy a box for 200, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there any rich kids out there?
Yeah.
That's
Right? Like you guys remember when we used to buy trading cards for
Yeah.
25 cents a pack, right? And comes with
Mhm.
that bubble gum that you break your teeth with,
Yeah.
right?
right. Oh man,
Those are the things,
cool.
right? So you got a show coming up in this weekend, no?
Me?
Or
No,
is
I
it next
don't.
week? Oh, next week.
No. My next show won't be until like I think the end of March. So going back to the shows. Yeah, I thought my next big one won't be until like April. So that one is gonna be in Cornwall. I love going to Cornwall, like the Cape Cornwall Con.
Yeah, I want to do
Um,
that one day.
you highly recommended. But yeah, my next one is back. Like I'm gonna be doing a couple of pop culture one.
Yep.
I'm signing up for Angus and Collingwood.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Collingwood
those
always does good. Collingwood I always do really
yeah.
well. Collingwood, believe it or not, is when we first showed up in the summertime, um, I was totally shocked. Um, like I walked away almost with $600 for that day, and that was a
Nice.
short day,
Wow.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
the following
Again.
show, I
Yeah.
was doing half that, and every other show I was doing around about $300-400, right? And you have to remember, I'm just selling prints. I'm not like right. So that's what I find for Collingwood. Then once in a while I will get the one collector that will come in and will buy a sketch cover,
Yeah.
right? So again, like price accordingly. You know what I mean? Like if you show
Yeah,
up
yeah,
in these
right.
small towns, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because we're not doing Fan Expo Toronto or
yeah, yeah,
Montreal Comic Con or Fan Expo
yeah,
Vancouver
Right.
or these things where
Yeah.
you're paying $800 a table and you got to make like $25 a print. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
the
Yeah,
thing.
that's the thing, right? Sorry, and the thing I wanted to mention is that sometimes we price accordingly based on the show that we do because, well, at least I know I do. Um, like the less I pay for a show, the more lenient I am with my pricing
Yeah.
because I know that I don't really have to cover for my table. Um, so I try to be, yeah, I try to be fair, or at least like I'll have a set price, but at the same time I'll be flexible about it depending on what show I'm doing, right?
Mm-hmm,
Right.
Like, yeah,
mm-hmm.
if I'm doing any big show that I have to you know you pay up like 600, $700 for a table, then unfortunately that's when I have to kind of like, okay, I got to make my table back,
Yeah, yeah,
so I got to pay, I got to charge this much, right? So I'm hoping that's where people will understand why. Sometimes I'm hoping that, yeah, sometimes they'll see him on the show, they go like, hey, how come you're only charging this much here?
yeah.
Well,
That's
like
the thing. Yeah.
for the pop culture show, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like, what average, it's like what, $70 a table or $90 if you bring your own table type thing. Trying to
Yeah.
remember.
It's $60, no, if you bring your own table, or
60
$40 to
bucks,
bring your own
yeah,
table. Around there.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I can say, okay, you know what, yeah, I can give it to you for this price because, like, I know, like,
Yeah.
I'm doing well
The
enough, right?
the way I know David is a lot of the time is he charges the table I think $60. You pay less. He's only like a lot of the time it's the rental of the space. That's what he's paying for, right?
Right.
That's all he's paying for because the rest of the money is whatever he sells at. He has his own merch. Then because he's renting out for the day, he takes advantage of that and runs the wrestling show at night. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how he
That's true.
makes the rest of his money. Otherwise, it's really like he's not making any money at all running these shows. You know what I mean?
I can only imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because most of these shows are like some of these places are like jacking up their rental, right? That's why you're
Right.
not seeing them coming back because these are Legion halls and community centers and stuff like that. And you
Yeah.
got a town that has like less than 300 people. Why are they charging, $800 for like a rental?
Right. Right.
Right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
a lot of the time he does a lost lead, right? But that's the thing, right? He tries to make his money back by selling other stuff. Like he brings
Yeah.
his own stuff, right? He has his toys, he's got his collectibles, and
Mm-hmm.
the whole bit, right?
And again, yeah, I love doing a show because, like you said, it's like it's 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 a 1 day show, short hours,
Yeah,
um, and that, yeah, and this is why, until April, um, I'm filling up my I guess weekend with whatever pop culture show I can attend, right?
nice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Collingwood and Angus are the two shows that I'll be signing up for next. And then again, I'm going to be doing Cape,
Nice, nice,
uh,
nice. I got to
for
do that one day.
Collingwood.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta eat. Yeah, you gotta try it. Like, it's crazy.
My
Um,
issue is I gotta find I can't lift any of my
yeah.
stuff,
Oh,
Yep, yep.
uh,
right? That's
sorry
the
to hear
only
that.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you're ever at the show, like, like, if you see me there, like, obviously, I can, like,
I'm
help
thinking
you
of
out.
doing Sudbury
Right.
in
Oh, when's Sudbury? Okay.
Sudbury's
Is that in April?
I think so.
Because if it is in April, I think I wanted to do it, but I think the only reason why I'm not doing it is because it. Don't quote me, but, like, I think that's the one that's kind of overlapping with Cape.
Yeah, yeah, it
That's
could be.
why.
That's the thing. I was thinking of driving out with Lawrence, Lou, or
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I was thinking of that, but I need to talk to him first. I don't know yet, right?
yeah,
It's the drive for me. That's right now.
Mm-hmm.
If I
I
was
get it.
healthier,
Yeah, yeah,
I would do these shows, right?
I
I
get
got to
it. Yeah.
contact. Was it James for? Hey, Razor, how you doing, buddy?
yeah.
It,
How was it like with the Niagara Falls?
so the Niagara Falls one was pre heart attack. Was
Yeah,
I remember asking for. Remember that one year where nobody showed up because the way they organized it, and that was the year that I got the corner.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Right, I had
So
the
they
corner
keep
table, but I didn't get the table. I got the one table. I didn't get corner table, right?
right, right, right,
Like nobody said that like, oh, you're not getting an L shape. You're getting like a table at the corner. That's it, right? So you got to bring
right.
your own table, right? So I went out and bought the stuff. Then remember, then I we ended up sitting in front of that big huge god monstrosity of a that remember with the lights shining on our eyes all day.
I don't know. Okay, to be honest with you, I
Yeah.
feel like I can't really complain with any of any of the spot that I was given, and I don't know if Ollie can vouch for this because, like
yeah,
between Ollie and Mike, we're always sitting
yeah,
together at the
Yeah.
Niagara Falls, right? Um, I don't feel like I've never had any bad spot there yet.
yeah. I think what Locke is saying, that was the time
Mm.
that there was a block. There's a wall.
Oh,
Um,
you talking about like yeah? Okay.
Remember that one year where we all walked around and nobody showed up?
Oh, I'm trying to
Remember
remember
that
what
that year?
year.
That was the year. That was my last year pre heart attack. That was
Okay.
when I had the corner. Remember, I brought Seth and we showed up at Ollie's house and
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. I remember that part, but then I can't. I'm trying to remember. Like, maybe you guys
so
were referring to the dividers.
those dividers. So they made Artist Alley
Yeah.
inside this
I
little
think that's it.
square that nobody ever
Yeah,
made to. Remember where everybody was sitting
Y-
inside, didn't do anything for a while, so they were wandering
Yeah.
around. Remember that?
Okay. Now I'm getting it. Yeah. Now I'm
Yeah.
remembering because I think I remember I had to. Well, not that I had, to, but I did like brought that up to the organizer. Just telling them it's like
yeah,
Yeah, we
just
were
mentioning like
all facing the outside. We were
yeah
seen, right? So that was easy enough.
yeah
Everybody else behind us in that space was pretty much nobody showed up, right?
yeah
And remember they had the autograph on the other side of the wall, and
yeah,
people
yeah.
kind of
yeah.
That was
right.
it.
But
That was the
I
time.
think
But
they
we
said
still
that
did
they're going back to the old thing. Sorry, Ali, go ahead.
no,
No,
we still did okay, Cap. I think me and Mike still
Mike.
did.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
yeah,
I can't complain with any of this thing yet because like I feel like we still did well.
yeah,
Um,
still did okay. Yeah.
my only thing, whether it's past or current so when I'm not traveling with Mike or Ollie, and you're fortunate with this one, Locks, because sometimes you bring your kid with you, right?
hmm
When I'm flying solo, I can't go to the washroom,
yeah,
Well,
or
yeah,
I can't. And
pee
another
in a
thing I'm
bottle,
finding out, sorry,
pee in a
bring the
bottle.
bottle. Yeah, that somebody suggested that, but anyway, I don't think I'm going to take
No,
anybody's
no,
seat or
don't do
do that.
that. Don't do
No,
that. Don't.
no. But what also another thing that's hindering me is doing commissions.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Not to toot my own horn, but like again, like my last, like my last year's show, I've just been like crazy busy, just
Mhm.
putting things in the bag, like
Yep,
selling
yep,
prints. Ollie can attest to this,
yeah.
and if
I
Mike
can
was
attest.
on
I
things,
can
like they
attest
can
on that.
attest to
Yeah.
this. Like I don't have time, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I don't have time to do commission. But it's just
Yeah,
For me, it's a
prints that
good
are like
thing.
moving.
that's a good thing. That is a good
That's a
thing
good thing. Yeah.
because I fill out commission when I really need to scramble,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when I need to close the show off. That's the
Right.
reason why I do
Yeah.
commission. If
Yeah.
anything, I would try to like pre-commission stuff
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
show, right? So you
Mhm.
Right.
announce, remember how we announced like way
Right.
ahead we're
Yeah.
going to be at this
Right.
show.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have like 5 slot for commission or
Yeah.
something,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
And that's what I would do. Get that information out.
Oh, another good show. I don't know. Have you if you've tried or you should try. I'm recommending shows here. If it's a good thing again, it's a bad thing because I'm going like, oh man, now that's gonna take away from my cable because you guys are freaking awesome. But what I wanted to another show is like the London Comic Con. Have you
Yeah,
Oh,
I
tried
London.
have
that one?
I I I I booked all these tables. They still owe me.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I brought that
Right?
up.
But you know what I mean? Like, had a heart attack, and then I emailed
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
and everybody's, yeah, I'll hold it off for next year. Then next year came, and it's like, I don't have, right? I'm still like in
Hmm.
sutures, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
the staples are still fresh.
Oh
Well,
man.
that's an
Yeah, how is that
emergency.
going for you?
I'm
If
doing
you don't mind me
okay.
asking.
I'm recovering. What I'm
Yeah.
running into now is if I could really like dispense a lot of energy within an hour period of time, but I'm burnt out the rest of the
Right.
day. That's how bad that is.
Hmm.
Like, um, like I can exert pretty good, but not as, if I had to go back to work, I would not make it.
Hmm.
Let's put it this way. Within
Yeah.
the hour, I would be like dead tired.
Yeah.
It's not
Really?
that it's about the blood oxygen level that I need from my heart to pump. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's you guys are sitting around and you guys are normal. Your heart rates are going. It starts to slow, but because you are basically healthy, right? Then when you try to get up too fast, you get that little lightheadedness kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, that happens to me all the time,
Hmm.
Ugh.
Hmm. Yeah.
right? So you'll see me like, just pause for a little bit because I'm trying to catch whatever because my heart is still, I mean, they went in and they like cut me right open, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
they filleted under my like breastbone to get to one of the
Oh
arteries,
gosh.
right? So
Hmm.
I have now
Scary.
scar tissue kind of thing that I still have, right? Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, like just last April, I was allowed to drive because now I can hold the steering wheel, right? Because
Oh,
you
yeah.
remember the scar, this,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, this is a year old now, right? But it's still there. It's still
Yeah.
red, right? That's all on my left
Oh
eye
man.
too.
I
So
know.
I can
Yeah.
do like, for example, if I go to Costco, I can push the Costco cart around, lift stuff up, walk
Uh-huh.
around for an hour straight, and I wouldn't have any problem. Once I get
Mhm.
Right.
home, that's it, right?
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
am done for, right?
Right.
And you have to remember, Costco is a flat area,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
What about? Sorry. Just to take your mind off your, because I feel like we're kind of like bringing back like PTSD or whatever, right? What about? Are you doing any? Considering any doing any small shows like just something
I
like
want to go back. I do.
like a
I'm
store
thinking
show
of
like
doing a couple of.
mm,
Last year I did 1 or 2 shows. I thought I could do it, right? Uh,
uh-huh,
it was a long, long day. I mean,
right,
that was, even though the show was only 10 till 4 or 3 or something like that,
yeah,
right? Or 9 till 3. I was like, but it was a long, long day. But I had Caitlin with me, and I think Kayla, the youngest one, with me. So
yeah,
it it was kind of nice. I loved it,
yeah,
but at the same time, there's certain shows where it was just like I just didn't feel like selling because I just didn't have the energy.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just like I couldn't stand for a while. I just had to sit, right, and just
Yeah.
watch the people go by for a little bit or something. Whatever
Yeah.
sold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my day, right? So that's what I found out, and I only did like I think two shows. It was Oshawa and I think Orangeville or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Orangeville. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were there, right, or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, that it's funny because like Orangeville is definitely my uh one of my go-to pop culture show because yeah, I love doing that, like that town, because they're very receptive with my work as well too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
So I
but
mean that
yeah,
was a good show. That was a really good show, right?
yeah,
But again, it's one of those things. It's in the middle of summer, and the best part is the Walmart's there.
yeah,
That's what bring people over, right?
right,
And
yeah,
that plaza, people were just walking over from that plaza, right, in the
exactly,
summertime. Like, what's going on? And
yeah,
they were coming in, and the ticket was either can of
$5,
perishable food or $5, right?
yeah,
It wasn't something absorbent, and all kids got in for free, right?
right.
So,
What about Free Comic Book Day? Are you doing any? Are you gonna be?
well, we don't know if there's going to be free comic book day this year.
Why?
Diamond distribution,
Right. Oh
Oh
snap!
yeah,
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 right.
that's true.
That
right?
is. I never thought
So
about that.
Right. Yeah.
Diamond owns that. Diamond owns that copyright, that patent free comic book day,
Mhm.
That is. Oh, you brought up a good
Yeah.
point.
True.
right?
Yeah.
Because like, well, Ollie and I, well,
Yeah.
just to give it a little bit of a heads up,
Heads up.
because I know we've been already asked to go to one store.
Mhm.
Carlos Gotham Central is gonna hate me for announcing this because he always gives me
Wait,
guilt
isn't he
trip every
doing it
time.
or no? I thought
Sorry,
didn't you guys go? No.
for what?
Okay, go. No. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
No, what I was gonna say is that so Ollie and I are gonna for this year. The plan was because we
Yeah.
got we were invited to go to Freak Show Comics in Niagara
Comics.
Falls,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, freak show, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, those guys. I know I feel like I'm kissing butt here, but no, I'm not really. I'm genuinely like loving these like people that you know, whether the organizer or even like the store owners. These guys, yeah, invited Ollie and I and Mike
Mhm.
to do free comic book day at thing. But sorry, the reason why I brought up Gotham because Gotham is pretty much as everybody knows my second home away from home
Yeah.
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
aside from my actual work. But I know Carlo just give me a little nudge and goes like, "Oh, you traitor," whenever I do any shows, right? Um, whenever he hears that I'm doing, but no, this year, yeah, the plan was for us to go to Freak Show Comics,
It's
but
a yeah.
regardless whether I'm hoping that regardless whether the brand exists as far as like free comic book show or free comic book day,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they'll still go on with like something to promote
Yeah.
just the
Yeah.
store itself,
I think
right?
there will be. It's just that you won't get a lot of the books that Diamond was
Right.
responsible
That's
for,
true.
right?
That's true.
Diamond's probably already printed as much as they could, but the problem is like right now, like Planet X is my LCS, my local comic book shop here,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So like yesterday they emailed me and says, "Hey, don't bother coming in on Wednesday because we haven't received anything from Diamond yet." Right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Gotham Central Comics is in there. What? Here, where the
Oh, I forgot I invited them to this thing. Hi guys. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. But
nothing but love. Oh, there's some drama, guys. Hey guys, if you guys are in the Toronto area, especially out in Mississauga area, if you happen to be in Toronto area, head over to Gotham City Central. It's a megaplex store, kind of. It's one of those places where if you go in there, you can actually die happy. And I'm sure Carlos can stuff you and put you up next to Deadpool or the Hulk in there and all that stuff too. But yeah,
And,
it's if you
and sorry,
ever
just
get a
to add to
chance,
that.
stop by that store. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, just to add to that. Speaking of shows and events, and they also hold like the summer bash,
Summer Bash, yeah.
which is
Yeah, that's the best. That's the
like a mini
best.
con at a
Yep.
store, and then they'll invite like so many artists, like,
Mhm.
and it'll be under a big tent. they
Yeah,
they they have they have like the wrestling ring.
Yep.
They have like they'll bring in like the pop culture cars like Kid,
yep, yep.
Knight Rider, or any of those other like Batmobiles. Just to give you guys a heads up, Summer Bash is also happening this year. um that's something you'll definitely enjoy attending, if you're ever in the Toronto, or like sorry, in the Mississauga area.
Even if you come out of Toronto, definitely drop in there.
Yeah.
If you guys get a chance, it's near the airport, so that's the best part. Is
And it's just like, yeah, just a little bit off the highway.
Yeah,
um
it's the Mecca. I don't know if Comic Vet is in the chat, but he's around there. He usually drops in there. I think he was there a couple weeks ago when what's his name there? Did Rockefeller or Rocket?
you're talking about Francis Maniple?
Yeah, Francis. There you go. Yeah, he was there for signing for that.
Yes.
So Francis was there, right?
Well,
He did well. He did very, very
he did
well. I
well.
was, yes.
Well, that's the cool thing with Gotham. It's like they invite all these like cool like um creators, or even celebrities. The last one that they had was Amy Jo Johnston, the Pink Power Ranger. Do you
Yep.
Mhm,
remember that?
Yep.
mhm.
Yeah, she was there. She was signing her because she wrote her own like Power Ranger comic book. Well, yeah, she wrote or co-produced with her boyfriend at that time,
Yep.
and then they were there doing the signing. And oh man, that was a good
That was a
that
good
was a
show.
cool event.
I missed the candy.
You missed the candy. Oh yeah, that's another thing you can't you can't ignore. The candy just right
That's
there
why I
near
had
the
a heart
entrance.
attack. I missed the candy so much.
uh,
It's all Carlos' fault.
Sorry, Ollie. What are
Yep.
you up to as far as like So you just have your cards going there? Are you planning on attending any other shows this year, like with us?
Niagara Falls is
Not
the only
sure
one,
yet.
right?
I'm not sure yet, Cap. Other than
Mm,
the Niagara Falls Comic Con,
yeah,
uh,
because you said you were trying Montreal as well too, right?
yeah, I want to try Montreal, but I applied, but
Yeah.
I did not get in. So
Well,
I did not
you're on
get
a
in.
waiting list.
Never, yeah. They just like last year. They just say that they're gonna message email me when something, but I it's always like that. Like I never
Right.
get reply from them, or email, or even ask me if there's some so
Yeah.
but they say that I did not get in automatically. I feel like
Mm,
that I didn't get in. So um but if I don't know, right now I'm good. That's
yeah.
why even like the Nickel City, I've been, I might not do that. That's
Oh,
true.
yeah. I was gonna follow up on that with you. Like I was hoping, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you heard? Sorry, Locke. Have you heard of Nickel City?
The Nickel City, the one out in Buffalo, right?
Buffalo, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've heard of it, but I've never been
Okay.
to the
Just
show.
It
I'm
was a
I'm
good
just
show.
curious how do you get across the border? Do you say I'm going to work, or do you say I'm just going to the Comic Con?
actually, should we even talk about that here? Because like I feel like they're gonna
No,
you
you're
know like.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're
No,
fine.
no, no. You know what? Honestly, like, yeah, when yeah, when we go over there, we just like, yeah, we have our stuff, and but then it's like
You're
hope
going
for
And
to
the
the
we're
best that
temple, right?
promoting.
we're not gonna get stopped or anything like that, right? It's one of those just like, yeah, just kind of try whatever happens happens.
Right. Well, I mean, I have an MT visa. I can go across anytime I want, right?
Yeah.
I just got to
Well, with
renew it. That's the thing, right? The MT visa is basically it's $80, and I think it's almost $95 this year.
oh,
But that will let you go across if you plan to go across the border often. That is one of those things you should sign up for, right? So you got to bring your
Right.
passport to the port of entry for us is Pearson Airport. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is a U.S. port of entry there. So I think
Uh-huh.
it's on the second floor on what is it, Terminal 3 or something like that? You know where the coffee shop is around that area? I think it was
Okay.
Terminal 3. So you go
I
in
don't
that
remember.
area, and what you do is you go in, there's the US patrol guys, and you bring in your document, and you say you want to apply for NT visa, they fill out forms, you bring your birth certificate, you bring all this other stuff. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's, pay your 80
Okay.
bucks and they'll let you know to come back. When you come back,
that's the
then
is
that's
that
where they
the
do.
like a card that you will get?
Yeah, it's like a passport card, but you bring your
Passport. Okay.
passport with you just in case. But it's a
Mhm.
fast track lane, right? So if you're driving
Yeah, yeah,
down
yeah. Right.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
you go to that section where it says
Okay.
NT,
Right.
you
Yeah.
hold out the card, but you
Yeah.
register your vehicle too, right? So you can't just
Oh,
drive
okay. Yeah.
somebody's vehicle. So if
Mhm.
that vehicle that you go on is the one you want, right? Otherwise, you have to wait in line like everybody else, right? So
Right.
for me, like if I go across and I got the whole family with me, I have to go across with the regular everybody
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. But
But
you're alone. Yeah.
what happens is when they see my NT visa, they don't question me at all. They don't even question the family, right? Because the family's there and they
Right.
just like go ahead, go right through, right? You just got to wait
Mm-hmm.
in line.
Right.
Now,
Right.
that is the thing. But they do the biometric stuff, right? So they got your handprint, your
Mm-hmm.
retina scan,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, and that's it because you use your retina scan if you go to the airport. You know what I mean? That
Right.
instead of
Okay.
going through custom, you go to this section with the terminal and you fill out a couple questions and you stare
Yeah.
into this little retina scan thing, and they
Mm-hmm.
verify you and just go through. Right?
Okay.
That's
Uh.
the advantage of the NT visa. That's if because I remember how I was just traveling in the U.S. all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had those. That was easy. That was always necessary.
Mm.
Yeah. Um.
Bingo. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I was gonna. So Ollie, just going back to Ollie.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
When it comes to you getting rejected, right now I'm trying out. I want to go back to Ottawa. Yeah, I want to go back to Ottawa, but I know when I applied, they also said that like, oh, it's already filled. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
they have me on a waiting list, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so Locke, just to give you a funny story, like in regard to Ottawa, uh, it's out of chair. So before I used to go with the Spent Pencils crew, and I think we did at least like 2 or 3 times. I went with the crew, and during that time, quite honestly, like I wasn't selling anything. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was just like every time I go back, it was always like yeah, it was always like a loss, right? Like I can't like
Yeah. Yeah.
in none of my print like barely move. But I still go because I go like, oh, I love hanging around with the crew, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, you're going like, this is still expensive, right? Because like you're getting the table, you're paying for
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
accommodation, whatnot. I think I did it for three years, 2 or 3 years at one point. But then I go like, no, it's not nothing. I'm not gonna go back. So I think I stopped for about a couple of years,
Okay.
and then these guys kind of egged me again. Goes like, yeah, well, you should try it. I said, okay, let's try it one more time. And I tried it one more time. Again, nothing. I said, okay, you know what? I'm giving up on Ottawa. I'm giving
Mm-hmm.
up on
Right.
Ottawa. Until like I think like Mike,
Yeah.
uh, Mike kept like Tim Mahoney.
Bugging
He
you.
goes there every year. He goes like, Arnold, you gotta go. I go,
When was
why?
the last?
What's the point?
When was that tap? The year that you come back and do
Well,
Ottawa again?
I haven't officially come back to the big show, but what I was
Oh,
gonna
okay, not
get
the big,
at was, sorry,
not the big show.
yeah. So what I was gonna get at was that like the only reason why I went back, but like I did the holiday show, but
Mm-hmm.
again I was put on wait list, and luckily I got in. I said, okay, I want to do the holiday show. Sorry, going back to Mike. Mike told me, he was like, yeah, you know what? You never brought any of your Manila drip prints
Right.
there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
before like when I think. So I said, you know what? That's true. I never like they haven't seen those
Yeah. Yeah.
this work yet.
Right.
And yeah, lo and behold, like finally, like when they said, okay, yeah, we got a table for you. Yeah, so I said, okay, let me try it out. If nothing sells again, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it for me. Like I'm closing the book on Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I went, Mike was right. Like next thing you
I wonder
know,
if
like
you.
yeah, it was such a successful show, and that's why I said like I want to go back to the big show. Like I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine. I
Yeah.
did the holiday show, and that's only a small show. I can only imagine how well, hopefully, the big show will be for me, right?
What
So
about
you never know. You never
Ollie?
know.
What
That's
about
one
applying for like a guest thing? No.
for Ollie.
Yeah.
Ollie should try it. I know I can't do that because they always have this. They always have this. What do you call this? Prerequisite that you got to be a pro.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to be selling a book, or whatever, right? And I'm going like I don't qualify for that.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. Um, I might do that, but it's just that again with the sketch card that I signed up on,
Hmm.
and it's on. It's just like 2 days, right, or weekend, but still, I feel like I lose a lot of like time
Yeah. It's
with
the it's the yeah, it's the time. It's
yeah,
the time.
especially if it's like a close to deadline of our set that we
Yeah,
work
I
on.
know.
So that's
Right.
my only issue, like going to a con that has like especially when you sign up an agreement, you know that they say when is the due date, and if
Yep.
it's like the time is around that time, it's hard for me to
To break away.
go.
Even
Yeah.
just one day, that's the thing. I
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
that too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, on Sunday, I can punch out like 15, 20 cards if I
Yeah. Yeah.
wanted to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
It
crazy.
Yeah.
when that's the thing, right? Because Arnold, you have to remember, we're only getting paid 15 bucks a card if we can punch out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if I like the SpongeBob stuff, I was gonna do 80, but I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna do 40 first. I'm gonna see how much, because I went with the Star Wars was like, do you want to start out with a 20 pack? I said
Mhm.
no, just hit me with 40, right?
Mhm.
So I found 40 to be one of those where I was literally um first 2 weeks of that was me panicking, going, oh my god, the rules on Star
Yeah.
Wars, I don't, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, I gotta
Yeah.
draw likenesses. I
Yeah.
gotta,
That feeling.
if I colored Samuel L. Jackson, he's gotta look brown. He can't be
Right.
pink or blue, right? I can't have shirtless Kylo Ren, right? And damn it, I was looking forward to drawing shirtless Kylo Ren.
Look, I
Yeah,
Hey,
just
if
have a
Jabba the
question.
Hutt can be shirtless, come on.
that's right.
How the likeness should be like really close to, like, I mean, when you do certain characters based on
I got it close enough.
okay,
You know how we do portraits? I
right,
cheat
right,
by just putting lines here, line there.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's just the expression on their face. I do the
mm-hmm,
rest with Copic, right? The alcohol markers or
mm-hmm,
acrylic. You put shadows. If you put enough
yeah,
shadows in certain area, you kind of form that face, right? As long as you get the face, like, the face correct in that
mm-hmm,
space, you can
mm-hmm,
get away with almost anything, right? The eyes, the nose, and the lips.
mm-hmm,
Those are the three. Everything else is cheekbones and foreheads, right? The space
Mhm.
between the foreheads, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good for what it is, right? I
But
got close enough. I got close enough, and I was worried. I was worried that my brother-in-law gave me a list of characters to draw, so I drew them
Mhm.
all, and I was like, "Oh well,
Yeah.
Kylo Ren. I'm not drawing him without a helmet, so I got to draw him with a helmet."
Yeah, yeah.
And every
Right.
helmet I drew, you have to be accurate. Like the
Oh, really?
stormtrooper has this little like they have this thing on their side of the ear, and if you look
Right.
carefully, it's these little like you know on the back it's got to be 011 or something like that. You know what I mean? That
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
all this other stuff, right? That's what you need to be careful of. And certain stormtrooper have that the front of the helmet, that piping, that airbag thing is different. Some have different ones. I didn't know that. I thought they all looked the same until I was like, oh my god, right? Right? So you know what I did with? I went with
Huh.
all the Knights of Ren,
The
right?
what? Sorry.
The Knights of Ren. That's Kylo Ren's posse.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The reason for it is all their helmets are damaged and scratched up, so you can use a lot of blacks.
Okay.
Ah, that sounds like a Mike
Like,
Simbahan rule.
like,
Like,
yeah.
That's right. Right? So you end up with that kind of so you look at it, and I was worried at first, right? Because it was my
Mhm.
first set.
Ah,
Yeah,
Now that
yeah.
my set is under the belt, now I know what I'm gonna do. So the next set, I'll increase the card count. I'll go to 50
Mhm.
cards or something like that, right?
right.
Because I know I can punch out uh, after I drop the kids off at school and I'm
Yeah,
home by
yeah,
myself or whatever the
yeah,
stuff is.
yeah.
I can do approximately almost 2 hours a card,
Right.
right? That is if I'm sitting down. So I have like all my pencil sketch. I sketch. Then
Mhm.
I go through my
Ink.
microns and I do my little quick outlines.
Right, right.
Right.
Then I go in with my Copic. If I'm, I try to keep all the Star Wars background, that gray with the white light coming through, the slits. That's easy to do. Right? You take a light blue or light gray and you just draw and you make little half circles of with light slits, right? And you leave a lot of white
Mhm.
space.
Yeah.
That you know what? That's one thing I admire about you. You both. You guys can just kill it with like colors, traditional medium, like whether Copic or watercolor, because that's I know something that I need to work on.
You
Um,
just got to sit down and remember when I was just drawing the sketch
uh,
card, the 4x6, almost every day for like I did 1,000 at the time, and that was going through all the Copics, right? It's just going through all the
yeah.
markers. So what you do with that is you're just learning how the behavior of the colors and the mixing, right? So I was
Uh-huh.
drawing things like Judge Dredd because I want to do the helmet. I want to know how to do
Right.
shine. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm.
I drew this character or that character. I drew
Yeah, yeah,
Storm because I want to do brown skin. I want to,
yeah, yeah.
then that I learned if I put yellow down for everything, a light yellow, all you do is apply a little bit of red, and that's pretty much skin tones for everybody, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
See,
there's
I need to get used to that. Like, I guess I don't know.
you just got to sit and you got to do it. That's the only thing.
Right.
There's
But
Well,
there's no getting around to it. You know what I
but
mean? Like
Sam, your style right now is really working for you. Like those style that you're using with the even with like a digital or or traditional art, your style is like is doing well with your in your
yeah.
prints
Why
that
don't
you
you
yeah,
do that?
but
yeah.
I
When
but no. The thing is with me, it's like obviously as we all know, digital it's easier. It's a lot easier to manage when
Mhm. Yeah, yeah,
mistakes
right.
or when you need to redo something, right? Because you can just like either delete the layer or yeah,
Yeah, Yeah.
and the cleanup is pretty easy. Whereas like with you guys, like once you put down the marker, once you put down a traditional watercolor, like you're gonna be struggling trying to like correct that or trying to like I don't know make a happy accident just be happy. I don't know.
Arnold, mistake, 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 mistake,
Right,
mistake. Right? That's
right,
it. I mean that you're gonna make mistake. You just toss the
yeah.
card aside and you just grab another one, right?
Yeah,
That's
but look how long that takes. So I guess for me, I appreciate the compliment, Ollie, but like, yeah, for me, you know, knowing that I have a limited time because yeah,
Yeah.
the following day I had to like
Yep.
tomorrow
Yep.
I got to
Mhm.
go to work.
Yeah.
So what worked for me is doing digital coloring because I know that like I can work on that real quickly because
Hmm.
I just don't have time the luxury to
Yeah. Yeah.
work until 2 o'clock in the morning trying to fix or trying to put the thing together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because knowing that like tomorrow morning like I need to like before, yeah, I used to go to bed like late. Like, yeah, I think the latest 1:30 in the morning, close to 2. But then I'm going, I can't do that because I got to go to work the following day. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
I don't want to be sleeping in the middle of a meeting, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and, affecting my day job. So I limit myself, but I know that like, yeah, what works for me is really like just doing stuff digitally, but I still admired or, I would love to do a traditional because
Hmm.
especially
Hmm.
when people ask me for a commission.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I always give them a heads up. I said, like, listen, my commission will just be based on either pencil or ink,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Because that's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
What you want to do is
Hmm.
get a little bit of some watercolor, like a little palette thing. Um, like I think that is your best entry point instead of trying to get
Yeah,
yourself a box of Copic markers,
yeah.
right? I think that is the best thing you can do when you start off with. Where's my
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's cheaper, right?
It is
It's
cheaper. It
doesn't
is cheaper.
cost you that much.
So you know, um, Arnold, get something like this, right? Just something just to start off with.
I,
Just
I,
get
yeah.
right, even smaller. All you need is
Okay.
just your base color. Because
Right.
what I'm doing here is just stupid. I mean, this is like I don't know, $30 set from Amazon. I don't need all
Right.
the colors. I mean, I can mix most of these colors now, right? So,
Right.
you need your yellow, you need your white, you need your and stuff. And this stuff, you just bring it and you do a wash. I like what your style that you had, Arnold, right? That you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I would, you know what you do? You do your pencil of
Uh,
what you had an idea. Take your wash and wash around it. Let it bleed, let it dry, whatever. Then ink
yeah.
over top. That's what
Okay.
I would do.
Here's my question. For you guys. What brand of ink pen? Well, I don't know whether it's a pen or you guys are using a pen, or if you guys
Hmm.
are using like if you're dipping your nib in ink. Like what's your brand that does not bleed when you applying color on top of it?
Okay. So
Go ahead.
here's something I found,
Uh,
right?
Liquitex.
It is acrylic ink. Okay.
Yeah.
When acrylic dries, right? So you have to let it dry. Once it dries, it will never bleed because what it does is when it dries, it's a plastic,
Right.
right? That's one way. If you plan to use just ink, like what do you call it? The pen pal where is it? Like you know, if you're getting one of these with the brush, right?
Yeah.
And you get the cartridge in here.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that, you want to look for archival, and I think it's waterproof is the term.
Do they have? Do they have option to?
Yeah,
Because those.
yeah. If it's
Wait,
water based,
that
what
brushing,
happens?
that brushing.
So
What's the brand
this
of that
brush
brushing?
here, see this here? This is Pentel,
Yeah,
right?
Mhm.
Pentel.
See the
Okay.
gray? This gray thing? This is waterproof archival ink,
Right.
right? If you want to use microns, you can, but you want to look for the word archival right there.
Got it.
Okay? The key word is archival. So you want to look for archival. That won't smear, that won't, right? But it has to dry first. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like right now, if I draw a line and I use a Copic, it will bleed,
Mhm.
right? Because it's still wet, right? But if I let it dry and I use a Copic alcohol on top, it won't smudge,
Mhm.
How long?
right?
How long the drying period?
I don't know. You just got to try it out, right? I mean, like,
Me.
Uhulu sells them too. Like, if you buy the Uhulu type, right?
Yeah. So I'm just laughing at the name Ooh because
Yeah.
like you're like
But those are
you're
the
crying.
those are the knockoff markers from what do you call it?
Yeah, but they're great though, right? They're
They're
great.
fantastic.
I own a few, mind you. I don't use them as often as I should, but I bought them enough to try it that like I'm going like wow, this is actually like
Yeah.
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 For how much you're paying for them compared to a Copic marker,
Right.
you're getting a great deal. Excuse me.
They're always out, right? I got to run this through Google Translate, but I think this is archival too. The word you want to look
Where
for
you
is
getting your
archival.
art supply?
I get it wherever I can. A lot of the time it's Missouri because I don't have curry around me.
I think Curry just kind of like I don't know. There's not many stores out there anymore.
There's one out in Mississauga near Carlos.
Nope, that one's done.
That one's done. Okay,
Yep,
Mhm.
that
then
one's done. That was done. That was done like I think just a little bit after. What's it? Just a little bit after COVID, like or uh
damn it. Yeah.
yeah.
So I
So that
order
one,
a lot of the time on from Missouri,
yeah.
Desiree.
Dessert. Yeah, no, I can never know like how to pronounce that like
Yeah,
store.
How
Anyway,
about
Desiree.
the curries at close to Pagoda?
yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. He was mentioning near. Well, Carlos, when we're talking about like Gotham Central,
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're talking about like the one down Dundas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, that's the one that like yeah, it's no longer there.
No
Like they
longer
closed
there.
that a while back. Like
Oh.
I think
that
a
was
couple of
every
years
time I
ago.
visit Carlos when we do those bash. First
Yeah.
thing I do is head it down to that area and spend all my commission money there. Right? That is like
Yeah.
10 Copic markers or 2 Copic
Mhm.
markers for the commission money I
Well,
get.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned. I actually used to work at
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Curry's.
Yeah.
And so that location that they have near Carlos, it used to be on uh, uh, Queensway and Contra and Queensway. So I don't know if you remember that thing. And they used to have the they used to have a store in that little plaza, and that was at that time their flagship store. It
Right.
was their flagship store slash warehouse
Mhm.
slash head office. And again, I only know that because I worked there at one
Right.
point. It was crazy. I don't know about you guys, but it's so funny because like it's a warehouse store, and then like they got two levels. And as an artist, when I first they first brought me into the
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
it was like the moment I opened the door, it was like
Yeah.
like artist heaven because
Yeah.
you're like 2 floors of like art, art supplies and all this. I'm going like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
crazy. And no, I love working there because I definitely learned a lot as far as like what the materials. Obviously, I gotta know because I gotta sell them. But it was a great store. But it's just unfortunate that like they
The
I don't know
close
what
down.
happened. They started closing down a lot of their like
Mm.
other stores, right? So,
Yeah, that's
but
they couldn't. That was my go-to because they had the cheapest supplies,
yeah,
right? And they could almost get anything you want, right? That's where I
well
found the
that's it, right?
Pentel pen. Yeah,
Mm.
that's when
Yeah,
I found the Pentel pens and the cartridges, right? And
yeah,
that when the price was right, I mean, I think it was the cartridge were almost $1 something at the time. I bought
Mhm.
yeah,
boxes of it. Like I bought boxes of it, right?
yeah.
Because you couldn't get it any further, and thank
Yeah,
God I
yeah,
still
yeah.
have it, right?
You know what I miss from Damaswell too, or even the color race pencil.
Yeah,
Remember those ones?
yeah. I
Like
still
the
use them. I use them.
yeah.
So let me show you. They come in this now.
What?
Sorry, it's upside down.
Well, some of them would think. But wait, are they like
Erasables.
Hmm.
yeah, they're erasable, but wait,
They're
are they
leads.
for lead? Yeah, lead.
Yep,
No way.
you can get them.
When did they start doing that? See,
I don't know.
no,
I'll
I'm
send you the
100%.
Amazon link after the show.
Hmm.
This is why.
Because I know the regular pencil, they it costs an arm and a leg now. Like back then, I remember when I was working for Curry, they used to just sell it for 60 cents, like a
Yeah,
pencil, right? But then now I'm even looking at Amazon, just a regular pencil. It's like they're selling a pack for like $30, like 12, just 12 pencils or whatever in a pack, or
look,
whatever. I don't know. That's
pre-pandemic,
crazy.
I
Yep.
got boxes of it.
That's
Right?
it. Yeah, those are the pencils that I love using, man.
That's
Like.
right. Here's another box. Right? Where's the other box? Right?
Oh.
Like,
Hmm.
look, at Curry's,
That's
Oh wow.
hilarious.
Wow.
right?
That's hilarious.
So you need to have backups when it's cheap.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
all my commission money right here.
Well, no, you know what? That's true. You know what? That's true. I did the same thing. Whenever
Yeah,
yeah, whenever I can, or when it goes on sale, or I know I can afford it, type thing. Like I grab as many as I can. But no, you and I we're in the same level, man. Like
yeah.
I used to do that as well too. But mind you, it's funny because like back then, like
It was
I
cheaper.
was taking advantage. The cool thing about like working for Curry, obviously I had what do you call it, employee discount,
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
which helped out a lot.
I kept. So I didn't. Hey Ollie, I bought
But
the Hulu,
oh, the nib.
the nib. They fit
Mm.
in the Copic and they fit in the other stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
So that's
But
something you might want to look at.
how about like the refills? Where they
the
got refills?
the refills. The way I did was, I created a swatch sheet.
Yeah.
Then I pretty much put a piece of tape around the refill
Mm-hmm.
container
Yeah,
with
yeah,
with what I can match as close as I
yeah,
can.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes that's just what I do.
That's all I did was I can say this one is for R24, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
put a tape around that refill, so at least I know that I'm close enough.
But where do you get your refills?
China
China.
for $1 something, almost it's $2 now, right?
Like
But
what site?
huh?
What site?
Temu. I'll send you the link after,
Oh, the team. Okay, okay,
right? Like I always end up like, oh,
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just right.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to match them to the thing, and I would put a piece of tape, and I would write down what is what closest
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
right?
That's nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically this stuff here is the base color, right? Of
Yeah.
all the one I
Right.
use,
Yeah.
I just now have to like brush lightly just to get enough the colors, right? So
Yeah.
I find that this and this is almost the same. 173 and 76 is almost the same color.
Right.
Really, it's close to being 185 and 183 on some of the
Yeah.
markers,
Right.
right?
Oh, by the way, Lock,
Yeah.
last time I saw you, you have like um, what do you call this? Your markers.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a case that there's like a case in the on your table. Where'd you get that? What do you call this? Like the holder.
This thing here,
Yeah.
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 Same place, Temu, right?
Okay. Okay.
They're like some sort of like they're not wood. They're I don't know. They're kind of like paper wood or whatever they call it. Those things.
I feel like
The
I'm
the
benefiting
issue
in this
with
show. Sorry, I feel like I'm
yeah.
benefiting in this show, like with Locke educating us where he gets his
Yeah.
art
I
Right.
supplies.
just want to,
Yeah.
the whole
It's
thing was I just
amazing.
want to hang out with my friends that I haven't
Yeah.
hung out in a while,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
we're talking shop. That's really what this is,
exactly.
and we
But
forgot
no,
about all the audience that out there are
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
us. So yeah,
anymore.
most
Good.
people just want to see you draw, and they'll learn some stuff here and there. Oh, I found something that's really handy. If you guys are interested,
Mhm.
Huh.
this was like 12, $13. It's a timer.
Okay.
So it uses the gravity, so you can like when you switch it on, if I put it like this, 5 minutes counts down. If I do this, that's a 10-minute timer. If I
Oh.
do that, that's a 30-minute timer.
That's pretty
Oh.
cool.
That's nice.
So I can like if I put this face down, that means I'm pause, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
pause, right?
Yeah.
um or
That's
face up
good.
is pause, that kind of stuff. So this allows me to like remember
The
to
face yourself,
stand up
right?
and stretch,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
right?
good. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
Right
mean,
away. Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, I mean, I used to use Google to tell me the time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Mhm.
Alexia or whatever the stuff was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be like that, you can just use the your alarm clock on your stopwatch, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, as an audience member, you guys are watching in. The reason why we want to do this is to get up and stretch,
Yeah.
and because us artists, we tend to sit and draw all day, and we hunch over, and we get up, and we find out our legs don't work anymore,
And
right?
not lower
it's,
back.
it's
Right?
like it's like reading your phone on the toilet, right? Like you need to know
Exactly,
what your
exactly.
limit is.
Exactly, right? So I can set like the best part of this is I can set myself a timer and I can try
Mhm.
to draw or pencil within that time, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of racing against the clock. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing I liked about this is something that I found handy is doing sketch cards is that we
Hmm.
kind of
Oh,
start
okay.
cheating. Like we get faster because
Yeah.
unless you're Oliver, who tends to draw backgrounds
Right.
and buildings, and I can't believe Oliver drew a jet liner flying across with three birds in the background. You can actually see, right?
Well, I want to
Yeah.
share a little story regarding on that note because it's funny. Because like
Mm.
one time when I was hanging out with Ollie at his place, we both had like a blank paper, and I forgot what character I was drawing, but I don't know. It could be Aquaman or somebody. And I would just want to do like a what do you call it? A bus shot of that. And then
Yeah.
Ollie had like the Transformer. I think it was a Transformer
Not
sketch
for
card.
me.
Yeah. and it's funny because like here I am. Okay, I'm starting. So I'm drawing my eyes, I'm drawing my nose, and all that. And I look over Ollie. It's like he's already got like the whole like the whole robot going there, and he got the city
Yeah.
landscape in the background.
Yeah.
And I'm going like, dude, like he was Ollie just fast, man. Like that's
I
one
know.
thing I gotta give him credit for.
Well,
Not
the
only
other thing is I
it's the
noticed like,
quality.
hey,
Hmm.
Oliver, you drew that sketch card with Spider-Man flying across the building. I noticed that you got people inside the window, for crying out loud. What the hell, man?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know if I can follow Ollie's step, but I know I can follow Mike's step. I can just black things out and then just. Hey, Mike, if you're hearing this, I don't
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
You
Is he
should join
working
us
night
next
shift? I
time.
invited him, so I don't know if he's
He
He's
left a
working.
message. He said that like he's at work right now, so he can't really
Oh.
join us.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Right. I would love to have him on the stream too, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, he
Yeah.
he'll have stories as well too, because I mostly travel with him now
Mhm.
when I do conventions, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Um, so he's my traveling buddy, so he's got stories for sure.
Yeah. Next time.
So yeah, let's see. What else is happening
Well,
for
sorry, going back on that clock, another useful thing I thought like right off the bat when you were showing me, I'm going like, you know what, I can use that because like I sometimes babysit my cousin's kid,
Yeah. Yeah.
and every time I have to ask her, can you like give me a break for a bit, like give me at least like 5 minutes,
yeah.
and she always grabs my phone to make sure that
Oh.
like 5 minutes,
Mhm.
boom, she'll
Yeah.
be right beside me and she'll be like bugging me then, right? But I'm
Uh,
going like, yeah, that gadget that you have, it'll be good for me to just like hand over to her. It's like, okay, wait until this thing is done.
right.
Sorry, I just thought I'd share that one because I thought like it would be neat to have one of those gadgets and just like
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
that instead of me like giving her my like $400 phone.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So you said you got that on Amazon too,
Yeah. You can get it on almost any of the stuff. I think I got it for $14. There we go.
nice.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
So you can set it for
Yeah,
like 60-minute timer, 5-minute timer, and the countings will start. Then it will beep at you, right? Once there
right.
we go, and it starts counting. Then as you put it up, you can put it on pause or whatever it is that you want to do, right?
Yeah.
It's a neat little
That's cool.
it's enough for me to get up and stretch because I find that if I sit and like do what you guys are doing right now, my eyes tend to lock into place,
Mm-hmm.
right? And everything becomes blurry if I look around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So I give myself like a 5, 10, 15-minute timer just to like look up. And also, just to get up and
Yeah.
walk
You
around a
need
little,
to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that.
I need that. Yeah.
right? So,
Especially when we're
Um.
doing sketch cards.
yeah.
Yeah. We need that.
Hey, Locke, where do you get your sketch cover?
I order it from
What?
Preview World, but I tell Planet X to get it for me,
Okay.
right? I would love to drive out to Carlos and get it from his place. I know that, but my problem is, it's a 45-minute drive, even though it
Mm-hmm.
only it should only be like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I gotta go down the 400 across the 401 to his place. And I rather like shoot myself in the head than try to go down the 400, right? So Planet X is just like 13 minutes away from here in Richmond Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So what I do is I go to Preview World. Remember the previewworld .com or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I pull down the search menu and I go blanks without the S, and it lists all the upcoming blanks, and I just copy and paste the blanks that I want to get into a list,
Right.
and I email it to the Anthony who runs Planet X, the manager out there, and he
Yeah.
placed the order for me. And some of the covers are like 3-4 months in advance, so you see what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so I order usually on average about 3 copies, depending on like, for example, Magic, I would get like 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of those main
Oh,
characters.
yeah.
So what I do with that is, this is something you should do too, Arnold, is I catalog all my my sketch covers.
Right.
So the way I do that is I create a Google sheet, right? So
Right.
because I have a Gmail account, it comes with Google Drive. So I create myself a
Right.
Google sheet. I create a spreadsheet, and I create tabs. I have one for Marvel, one for DC, one for Image,
Yeah.
and one for
Mhm.
others.
That's smart. Okay.
That's nice.
So what I do is each sheet I would have I have title,
Yeah.
issue number, and quantity, and a space for a picture. So I would spread the Excel spreadsheet out with the photos, and I would take a
Yeah.
photo, and you can just literally put it in each cell of the cover. So what I do
Okay.
with that is I create a shortened link, like a URL shortener or whatever the thing is, and that's what I put in my Linktree Instagram thing. So when somebody
Yeah.
asks me for a commission, I
Mhm.
say, "Here's the link to all my books that I have." Right? They go
Right.
there, and they'll see the cover. And each cover, I will like, if this cover is a rare cover, I like mark it and say, "This is a rare. Um, this will cost you more."
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Because some books, I don't know if people realize, like, some
Yeah.
books
We.
definitely aren't your average comic book price.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I do. Or then what I do is every cover I specify if it's a glossy, if it's a whatever, and I also put a little note next to it. This is a shitty cover, right?
Oh.
You remember like the Power Ranger one, the yellow cover? It was so glossy, even acrylic didn't want to stick to it.
Really? Oh
Right.
wow.
So you know how I fixed it was I went
Huh.
out and bought you know the nail filer thing from the dollar store.
Okay.
What do you call those things? What do you call those things that you file your nails? The little sandpaper sticks. Let me see if I can find it. Ah, here we go. There. See this?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that.
Okay.
Wow.
You know the thing the ladies file their nails with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 This is
Yeah.
all sandpaper. So I
Yeah.
just quickly rub it across
Really?
the cover. Just a light, and that's enough to soften the glossy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just
No
the
way.
area I need,
See?
right? So you can just break off a piece
That
and
is
use your thumb
hilarious.
to, you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
nice.
There.
That's
That's
hilarious.
another tip for you budding.
Some tips.
It's just you got to get that paper to react a little bit, right?
Exactly.
Right. Look, I mean, you get a
No,
whole
that's a good
pack.
tip.
You get
Thank you.
36 for $1.50. And also, if you
So
want to
wait.
file
So
your nail, you can do the same.
Right.
so wait. So will that kind of like damage the like the
Well,
stamp
like
system?
for example, right? So if this was one of those shiny covers, right? And your pencil doesn't want to go on, you just
Yeah.
quickly sand a little bit, and you'll find out, and you draw, and okay, the pencil holds, because now you're gonna
Right.
have to be able to get ink in there, right? Because you're just getting rid of that sheen surface a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the whole thing. Because how are you gonna ink on something unless you use a Sharpie, right?
Right.
Right? Or some sort of
I
liquid
tried to
ink.
be going to color it.
Or how are you gonna color it exactly?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? The other thing you can do too is uh, get one of these workative fixative,
Right. Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
right? This is like a $20 bottle, but you'll get stoned like you wouldn't believe,
If you don't have,
right?
a good ventilation in your
Yeah. So
or
what I do
yeah.
is I get a like an Amazon box, like big enough, right?
Uh-huh.
I put the book at the bottom of the box. I
Right.
go into the bathroom, the spare bathroom that we have here in our basement. I turn on
Yeah.
the fan, right?
Yeah.
And I put it right up next near the fan, where the sink is and or above the toilet or whatever the stuff is. And
Yep.
I
Yeah.
would spray a little bit of it and run out, close the door, right? Let the smell go, and then what happens is spray fixative is enough to get like because it's called workative fixative. That means you can work on it afterwards, right? So it's like a
Right.
tack, right? I try not to use this as much, right? Yeah, because this stuff here is yeah. So this is why I can't afford marijuana or what do you call those gummy bears? Because all my money goes in the hair, right? I get stoned here. I can't buy alcohol because I get this is my alcohol, right? This is alcohol.
That's hilarious. No, it's good to know. No, yeah, it's funny because like I told you guys, like working at Curry's, I got to learn a lot of materials, but um, I feel like the one I kind of like, yeah, forgot about was especially when I was asking you about like what ink does not bleed when you're putting Copic on.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I should have remembered that one, but this one with a fixative, yeah, I remember that one for sure. Um,
The fixative will do the trick. A lot of time, the
yeah,
fixative will do the stuff. But again, it's just like what is do you have fixative around? Can you run out and get it, or can you run upstairs and grab a little bit of sandpaper, right?
right,
Like a really fine sandpaper, and just quickly just rub real quick on an area. If you're gonna draw and then you have a back cover and you're not gonna draw on it, just do something and just try that out, right? And you'll figure out the paper type. That's what's on my Excel spreadsheet. I have little highlights that says this is an orange cover. This is a blue cover. This is a red cover, right?
right.
If somebody picks a red cover, I charge them more,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because now I got
Yeah,
Right.
damn it.
yeah. More work. Yeah,
Right,
more work too.
right. So those are the thing, and you try not to. And I got like a bunch of black covers, and I'm like, what am I doing with black covers for crying out loud, right?
Right.
You see Mike Ruth do the black covers with the color pencils and stuff.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Yeah,
crazy. That's another beast right there, man.
yeah. I want to sit there one day and just do what we're doing now and watch him do the actual, you know, because I want to see how he does the material too. Because I'm curious. I'll bet you anything. It's not this. It's probably not the same. I mean, it's probably the same thing as we all do, right? So,
Right.
anyways, it's coming on to 11:30, so I'm gonna end the
Yeah,
stream.
Yep.
And if
for
you guys
sure.
can still hang around if you guys want,
Oh no,
because
no,
we'll
we're
go off
good. We're
there,
good.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
And
good too because I got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah,
yeah,
I figured.
yeah.
So, Ollie, anything happening with you right now, or that's coming
Same
out?
old.
Oops,
Yeah.
which one?
No, for me, no, I'm still waiting for my set to come, but I'm doing commissions right now. My window is open now to do some commissions, so I'm working on some commissions,
Right.
finishing some of my earlier layouts. So and it's good because there's more some commissions coming in. So yeah,
That's
we'll
good.
be
Okay.
busy.
So
Cool.
if
Thank you.
people want to contact you, just hit you up on Instagram there.
Just Instagram, yeah.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll let
Yep.
everybody know. So you guys are Ollie's Instagram stuff is posted in the chat by Christine. Thank you, Christine. Then there you go. Yeah. And for all of us is also, if you are watching off the off air and you don't have access to the chat, it is in the show description. So just look in there for the stuff. Then
Yeah.
we got Arnold. What's going on with you coming up?
Uh, well, it's funny 'cause when you're promoting like commissions. Again, I'm kind of slowing down the commission because like my unfortunately my full time job exhausts me by the end of the day. Not trying to make excuses, but like for me, it's like I'm mostly just like trying to like prepare print for the upcoming shows. Where
Sure.
I find that again, that's where my success lies. Just selling my prints at the shows, and I'm just like, yeah, just very happy that
Can
people are
people, if
accept
they
them.
want some of your stuff that they see on Instagram, can they reach out to you and arrange some sort of shipping, or have you thought about that yet?
I have most of the time, like when I'm at the say at the con when they want commission, like
No, I
yeah,
mean like
I can
if
go
they
for
want to buy
shipping,
your
but
prints.
oh the print, oh no, well that's what I'm gonna get at with that. Like
Okay.
I let them know like, hey, they can go to any of the comic book stores that I go to, like Gotham Central, Freak Show,
Mhm.
mostly comics. No, I'm forgetting some other ones, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's they when they reach out to me and I just ask them, okay, where are you located? I'll just like kind of guide them to a comic book store close by to where I go to.
What
But
if
yeah,
what if they like in Sudbury and or in the States or the UK and they like some of your stuff? Are you interested in mailing them stuff if they're that kind
yeah,
of?
I mean, like, yeah, we can definitely arrange some sort of like mailing,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know,
yeah,
process.
yeah.
But I mostly try to like keep it local.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, yeah, I just keep it. I try not to. I don't know. I try not to do too much things.
Yeah. So, for anybody watching on the rewind, yeah, if you want to get a hold of Arnold, if you like any of his stuff, I'm sure you can make an arrangement and stuff.
Yeah,
Just DM on Instagram there,
yeah,
uh, and we'll talk and we'll see what he'll make an arrangement if you guys need. If you need a cover from him, or if you need something specifically drawn or something like that, just
and-
DM him and he'll give you his schedule and all the other stuff. Yeah,
yeah. That's great. No, thank you a lot for.
yeah, no
Yeah.
worries, man. No
Yep.
worries. I've done enough of these shows. So
Great.
yeah, let's see, what are we doing? There we go. Yeah, everybody, thank you a lot for joining in. We're just talking shop a lot of the time. Um, yeah, hopefully next Wednesday we'll do another one. I'll try to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the either StreamYard or Restream or one of these things. I'm just playing around right now.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, we'll just hang out. We'll just talk shop. I'm hoping to have. I'll see if I can try to get more artists on here, and we
Yeah.
can work the straw
Yep.
and talk about what's going on that
Cool.
we do.
No,
Yep.
guys, this was fun. So thank you for
Yeah. Yeah.
including
Nice.
me. Thank you for
Appreciate
Yeah,
including
yeah.
me.
I'm hoping to get Michael on one day.
Yeah.
If Wednesday at 9:30 doesn't work, then let me know and we'll find a
Yeah.
date where everything works with everybody. Either, if you guys aren't like, I don't want to take up Friday night because Friday nights is when the kids are home and that kind of stuff,
Exactly.
it. Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So that's a thing, or family get together or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday, I seem to find it's easier. It's the middle of the week, and it's probably a little relief for you, Arnold. All the
Yeah.
meeting on Monday and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just to draw for. I'm hoping just to do like an hour and a half. That's it.
Hmm.
right?
Yep.
Nothing longer. We went on a little bit longer because we talked about shops and stuff. But yeah, thank you everybody for jumping in. You can find all our social down at the bottom. If you're interested in any of the commissions or what our show schedule is going to be like for upcoming conventions and stuff like that, again, just check us out on Instagram. Uh, Direct message us if you have any questions and all the other stuff. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. So I'm going to end the stream.